On the programming side are the pitchers only, no hitting. So you won't see the bat flows, but the sequence is very similar to what we saw as the two-way guys with the trigger point that's happening on Sundays. On the Monday, we always want to do glove arm training before. If Tuesday is going to be our higher intensity bullpen day, we want to do that. We can move the days along a little bit. So if Sunday had to come to Monday as a recovery day because your Wednesday is now your mound day. So that means that your Tuesday workout is Wednesday and your Monday workout is now Tuesday, and that soft tissue day is on Monday. We just want to make sure it's a glove arm training day the day before you take the mound. Okay, just like this. And I talked to you about the top half. So this will be a lighter throwing day the day before, getting that scheduled in. We have our glove arm training here. That's here with our range of motion and our post workout habits. On Tuesday, when we go through this, this would be ideally a mound day. We go through everything. We want to do our arm care test. All right. After we're activated. So we're doing our fresh exam. You go through your throwing program, you go through your bullpen, start with these leading prep drills as part of maybe some of the other ones you do. And then we take a post exam after. Try to get that as close as you can to the mound. That way we don't miss really identifying fatigue. But if it has to come later in the day, no problem. All right. Now, the other thing too is getting in your arm care work for your throwing arm, just doing one arm, not sharing the load, building capacity right away. That would be great. And then migrating into your speed, agility, quickness. There's a warm up here to get prepped for that too, so that you can do those things. If you have to flip it, that's okay. But I would be great to come right off the mound, everything's supercharged to do your training. And then you have your range of motion component on that day. Wednesday, so we know the top, is another soft tissue day where we're going to be resetting tissues. It's midweek, gets our body prepped for what's coming on the second half. And then Thursday, where I have this program in, is another glove arm day. All right. So we're focused on the glove arm only training. All right. You'll see the exercises for those. And you'll be able to then make sure that your arm's getting some training on your throwing arm side through the brain and get some recovery, and you have your range of motion at the end. Okay. I have this optional but recommended over mounds, and that goes too for the two-way guys. But keeping the arm bike, if you can, getting the circulation would be fantastic. All right. That would be helpful. All right. If you can get that going. Friday is what would be another mound day. So if you have some 2 days between to recover, and you can organize it that you're coming off the mound and that's your hardest throwing day, that would be fantastic, because we would go through everything we need to, the activation, the fresh exam. So that's coming in to the data that we're taking in, your preparation. So whatever drills you may have, I would integrate the rotational pressing and pulling that I have. And then I would do, you make sure you can get the post exam as close as you can after to see how that goes. And then you would go through your training with the hybrid first, the elbow stabilization, the custom block. Then there's an integrated strength and coordination section. And then there's a rhythmic stabilization section so that we're getting some rhythmic activity in the shoulder. And then what we have is our speed, agility, quickness. Okay, so that stuff's built in. If you have to flip it, I'm okay with it. And then you have your range of motion, right? And we have to put some things into perspective for our soft tissue care. The cherry juice might really be, you might find the benefit right away for reduced soreness. These are things that we need to put in. All right. And then Saturday, as I mentioned, for the two-way guys, it would be great to get another fresh exam on this day. And I have this as an optional arm care routine so that you can really dial in getting a little bit more if you need it. We have 2 glove arm training days, 2 throwing arm training days. This option would be lighter, not using as heavy bands, but getting some relaxation and training out of it. And moving blood around. There's some things that I have that are integrated between the trunk and the core that you can put into practice there too, that's helpful. All right. And some of the other performance accelerators that I want to go through. These are cheap blue light blocking glasses like mine. If you're on a computer late at night If you are, playing video games, I really recommend to curtail that. If you're a pitcher, even catchers, you got to be careful. Your heavy throwing days, you don't want to be doing video game play, the day of or the night before when you have heavy throwing days. If you can minimize that or eliminate it, we're not going to have as much finger fatigue issues, which that really we do the tests with our fingers that activates our grip strength to protect the elbow. So if you can really commit to it, say I'm not going to play video games. Let's say if it's Tuesday's a bullpen, I'm not going to do one Monday. No video games Monday. Maybe you don't do any video games Tuesday either, so that you get your arm to recover a little bit more, and you don't do it Thursday. Maybe you don't do it Friday, but you reserve it. Maybe you play some video games on Saturday. It's going to reduce the amount of fatigue to your arm, and it's also going to lower the amount of adrenaline that you have going on when you're playing. This just helps us with not absorbing as much blue light with the screens, but we have to be careful too with video games and a whole bunch of stuff. We got to be able to blink. I watched players, major league players, play video games. It's crazy. Actually, I'll pull up this study. Google Scholar is where I go a lot for my education, the studies I look at and the studies I do. So video games and pitching. I was looking at this years ago, but they had this study done in Japan of kids that played a lot of video games. Now they're young, but playing for 3 hours a day is excessive. But they had a higher incidence of shoulder and elbow pain in elite players. And you guys are elite, in my opinion. Any player that works in this system is elite. I don't care where you're at in your game. You matter, you have value. You have to make the right approach and the right choices, not to overwork your arm. You got to commit to some of those things and scheduling them so you have a very successful season. So, getting back to the blue light glasses, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Here's another thing. Make sure you have no allergies to the things that I'm saying, but the hemp hearts and the chia and flax seeds, this mix, great in shakes, goes on salads, cereals. You don't even know you have it, but 10 grams of omegas, which is really important. And it also has 8 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. So now we talked about 20 grams of protein in 20 minutes. We're getting much more out of it by mixing stuff like this in a shake, and it's really easy to use. All right. And we talked about this with the PB Fit. So, it's been amazing just being able to meet you guys, educate you. There's a lot of information here. Okay. Click the links. You can revisit. We're going to work this process together. I always say that we're always focused on progress, not perfection, because if we are focused on progress, everything moves forward each day and we get, a way better result. All right. And it's always a learning moment. And I'm really grateful again. It's exciting to start this up with your team, help your coaching staff, people who I absolutely love. And I'm ready for success, and I hope you guys are too. So quality reps, cash checks. Your body is your business. Don't forget those. But I always say become a tough mother chucker, because that means you have a Hall of Fame mentality. You're going to do the things that are going to give you long-term success. All right. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it now.